Today's First Take Draft Blitz, we are getting into Stephen A's Cowboys and Bill Barnwell's draft scenario for ESPN.com. I miss Southern Steve. He offers his very intriguing proposal. The boys trade Dak and their 17th pick to Miami for the Finns' 5th pick and a 3rd rounder. Ryan Clark is still here with us. Stephen A., it's your team. You are up first. Do you like, love, or hate this idea for Dallas?
Well, I must say that I really am offended by this pick. I don't like it one bit. I want to say that. I don't like it one bit. Here's the reality of the situation, okay? The 5th pick overall plus a 3rd round pick may not necessarily equate to Dak Prescott. Now, I'm not so sure, all right? But the point is, what I am sure about is that young man, Dak Prescott, his recent stupidity for having a party during the whole coronavirus situation, notwithstanding, that man, Dak Prescott, is a model citizen. He shows up to work every day. He's thrown for nearly 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. He's in his mid-20s. He's got at least a decade left in this league, and his contribution to that Dallas Cowboy franchise should be appreciated. And the fact that there could even be a discussion right now to trade this boy really, really bothers me. It rakes my last nerves, I must say. I understand that business is business. I have no doubt that my man Maximilian Kellerman will come to the conclusion that this is a beautiful thing. I'll leave that for him with his Dak hating self, even though it's really Brady, but I'm not so sure. At the end of the day, Jerry, my buddy Jerry Jones, I have to say, I'm quite disappointed if something like this would have happened. I think Dak Prescott has been disrespected enough by the Dallas Cowboys, and I shouldn't anticipate something like this happening. It would be a good thing for those Miami Dolphins, Chris Greer and Brian Flores, but for the Dallas Cowboys, it would be nothing short of betrayal, and it would break my heart to see that happen, Ryan Clark, Max Kellerman.
I don't know that it would be a good deal for the Miami Dolphins at all, because Dak's not on his rookie deal anymore. Everyone knows the window to win is when a guy's on a rookie deal, unless you can work out some kind of long-term deal where the quarterback's reworking stuff, deferring money, whatever it is, as the Patriots did with Tom Brady. But once a quarterback gets expensive, boy, you better have a whole lot of talent as the quarterback, because you're not going to be able to put as much around him. And what Dak has shown so far, at least so far in his career, is he needs a lot of help around him. I think he's a winner. I think he's the kind of guy who can win you a Super Bowl given the right circumstances. But if he costs $35 million or $40 million when the new contracts kick in down the road, can you put enough around him? Carson Wentz, it doesn't look like it. And Carson Wentz is better than Dak Prescott on a per-game basis. I think he's significantly better than, just higher ceiling than Prescott. A lot of Prescott's value is wrapped up in durability and leadership and that kind of stuff. I don't think he has Carson Wentz's arm or just basic overall ability. And Carson Wentz needs a lot more around him. And the Goff contract didn't work out. If you could somehow turn Dak into Tua plus stuff, like I don't know about this exact deal. You're swapping first-round picks and all you get is a 3rd for Dak Prescott. I don't know. But if you're turning Dak into Tua plus stuff, and then you got 5-6 years to maneuver with Tua before you really have to pay him, or 5 years, let's say, before you really have to pay him, that resets the clock for the Cowboys. For the Dolphins, you got a guy who's shown he needs a lot of stuff around him. I don't know that makes the Dolphins Super Bowl contenders anytime in the near future. It makes them better for now. I think it's a really interesting deal.
Listen, I hate this deal for everybody. More importantly, I hate that this deal is even being talked about. Like, where they do that at? Where does a guy start for you for 4 seasons, have the type of production that Dak Prescott has, and we start proposing deals that includes the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys? That just doesn't happen. And I wouldn't like it if I was the Cowboys. I also wouldn't like it if I'm the Miami Dolphins. If I'm the Miami Dolphins and I'm going into this draft and I need a quarterback, and Tua Tagovailoa is sitting there, or even if you like Justin Herbert and you can go get your own guy, not go out and get a retread like you did last year, whether it was Ryan Fitzmagic or if it was Josh Rosen, you get to go pick your guy. Brian Flores says, this is who is for me, then you go do that. And if that guy isn't in this draft, if you don't feel comfortable enough with Tua's injuries or Justin Herbert's ceiling, then you go work after this draft and try to find a way to make this team better with what you have. But for Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys is his home. That's where he needs to be. That's the team he needs to play on. They need to pay him. They need to figure out a way to get this deal done because he fits there. He's the type of leader he needs. And with the pieces around him, I think he can help this team win. So for me, this deal is a no on both sides, and keep things as they are. And let's move forward in this draft the way that things are set.
I reckon you're right, Ryan Clark. I reckon you're right. I think it's necessary to say that. I reckon you're right because it needs to be said when somebody produces for you for a period of 4+ years, never misses a game, makes back page news when he just misses a practice. I mean, come on now. I mean, I can't be right about everything with football. I might be right. I might be right about Josh Allen. I might be wrong. I'm not so sure. I was talking about that defense from last year. That doesn't mean the same guys are returning this year. I get all of that. There's questions about the Steelers. There's questions about the Patriots. But if there's one thing I'm certain of, fellas, if there's one thing I'm certain of, is that darn boy, Dak Prescott, deserves far more respect than he has received from a football perspective.
Yes,
if you want to get on him about yesterday, that party, that's different. But he deserves respect for the way that he has played for those Dallas Cowboys. And it's very unfortunate that he hasn't been appreciated enough.
Max made a... To me, Max made a good point, though.
Go ahead, Ron.
No, I was just saying, you made a good point. I don't know if I'm the Dallas Cowboys and this deal is I could get this pick and give up certain things for Dak Prescott, knowing what he is and not get Tua Tagovailoa, that's not something I do. But if the Miami Dolphins draft Tua Tagovailoa and they are willing to package him and picks to come to my team, then that's a deal I make because I believe his ceiling is higher and then he would be on his rookie contract, so it puts you right back to where you were when Dak Prescott was a rookie, with a player with more skills and more tools to play the quarterback position. But doing it before the draft only puts you behind the 8 ball again, and that's not something I think Jerry Jones would be willing to do.
Yeah, I appreciate that. What I mean is if the swap is Dak for Tua plus you get stuff, right? Like you get Tua and stuff. Let me ask you something, guys. Preseason, we all knew Dallas was loaded. Dak played the whole season. He played well, except against the best teams, and didn't make the playoffs. And the Eagles stunk. And by the way, Wentz had an overrated season. And Washington and the Giants were jokes. They couldn't make the playoffs in the weakest division maybe in history. Literally maybe in the history of the NFL. You could argue it's the weakest division. It's one of them. And your guys stayed healthy, and you had weapons all over the place. Both sides of the ball. And we're going to blame it all on the coach, all of it on the coach, the whole thing? You can't make the playoffs under those circumstances? My point is this. No one in this century, no one in the 21st century has yet won the Super Bowl with the highest paid quarterback, the quarterback with the biggest contract. Dak wants the biggest contract. You think he's going to be the guy to do it? He couldn't make the playoffs this year, but he's going to be the guy to do it with the biggest contract ever? If you want to win the Super Bowl, you should consider this deal.
Ryan Clark, great to have you with us. Southern Steve, really great to have you as well. Go ahead, Ryan. You're good.
No, I was just saying I do totally understand that. But coming into the season, I didn't think that they were going to be an NFC championship team or a Super Bowl team. This team needed new leadership, and now they have it. If Dak can't produce this year, I believe that's why they have the franchise tag. If he doesn't produce this year, I believe they may actually move on from him.
All right. We will leave it on that note. Ryan, thank you for being with us. Tomorrow on First Take, our Draft Blitz continues with the now Brady-less Patriots. What could Bill Belichick have up his sleeve come draft night? They call him Bellatrix for a reason. That's Wednesday right here on First Take. Can't wait for this. After the break, we talked to one of the bad boy Pistons who gave MJ fits. How did he do it? Bill Laimbeer on First Take next.